this forecast video, we're forecasting a big storm to come into the west but not stop there, going across the central and eastern United States, bringing with it severe weather, snow, and many more impacts. All the details on all of it will be in this video. Alright, welcome back into another more weather forecast video. We're back in the weather room. During Christmas, I did get a couple of Christmas presents, such as a new computer and a green screen, so we will be using those, and that's why I haven't done a video in a while, because I've been setting up all this stuff, but I'm back. We do have some active weather that's on its way, so let's get straight into the forecast right now, looking at the European model. I also got Pivotal Weather Plus as well with these Christmas presents, so we are just going to be doing a lot more stuff with the More Weather channel here, and hopefully we'll be able to live stream by the time we go into storm season, so buckle up. We're about to do a lot of new stuff, as you can see the green screen behind me as well, so we're going to be introducing a lot of more video ideas and all of that. So again, a lot more is coming your way from the More Weather YouTube channel. So let's again get straight into the forecast. Looking at the European model, we are expecting a big storm to come into the west and then go across the United States. So looking at what we're dealing with right now, we have some snow in the Rockies, as well as some rain up into Oregon, Washington, and California right now. By the time we go into early on Monday, we are expecting a low pressure system to go into the plains, bringing with it some severe weather into Iowa. You can see right here, we are going to see some severe weather into places in eastern Iowa, into northern Missouri, and places like western Illinois as well. This was a marginal risk earlier today. It has been downgraded to just a conditional thunderstorm risk. So I'm not expecting much out of this, but still stay weather and wear in this region. We are expecting a couple of thunderstorms, but not much. Also expecting some snow on the northern side of this storm. Not a big storm, pretty weak storm, but we are expecting some snow, and again, very weak thunderstorms with it as well. So as that storm gets its way on out of here, it's going to provide some rain for Michigan, Wisconsin, as well as Minnesota and extreme northern Minnesota into North Dakota and South Dakota, as well as where we'll see those snow showers, and that'll again get its way on out of here by the time we go into Tuesday. But while that's happening, let's rewind this a little bit. Another storm comes into the west. I didn't cover this because again, I was pretty busy working on this and everything, but we have been seeing, as a lot of you guys probably know, atmospheric rivers coming in to California, and that means a lot of storms, a lot of rain. We've seen mudslides, we've seen big snow in the Sierra Nevadas, we've seen flooding, a lot of bad things going on over there. Overall, it's good because we do need the moisture in California, but it's a little bit too much, so that's why we've been seeing those problems, and we are expecting another storm to come in by the time we go into later tonight into tomorrow here in California. So especially from San Francisco down towards Los Angeles, and as well as north of San Francisco, that's where we're really going to be expecting our heaviest rain. So flooding again, as well as big snow you can see there in the Sierra Nevadas and into the basin area of Nevada. We are going to be seeing a lot of precipitation, of course, snow in the higher elevations, rain in the lower elevations. So as we go into Monday, though, this storm does squeeze out over the Rockies. There's still some moisture left of it, because as we know, when storms go over the Rockies, they kind of weaken a little bit, but with this one, it's actually going to be able to kind of regain its strength once it gets over the plains. So by the time we go into later on Tuesday and into Wednesday, we do see a pretty significant system form here. You can see here's the low pressure center. We got snow into Colorado, Nebraska, as well as Wyoming by the time we go into around 3 a.m. here on Wednesday, and also we do have some rain developing down here, and we will see severe weather down here, but I'll get into that here in a sec. So as we keep playing this out, as we go into Wednesday, we are going to see this system move across the plains into the Midwest, bringing with it heavy snow into a place like Omaha, Nebraska, into western Iowa here, into most of Nebraska, really though southeastern Nebraska. We are going to see some pretty heavy snow out of this, especially there in Nebraska. That's where we're probably going to see our biggest totals. That's probably where our bullseye will be with this event, or that's what I like to call it. But as that snow going on, as that snow is falling into Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, the Dakotas as well, we are going to see a severe weather threat down here into Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi, on Wednesday. So again, this is what we usually see in the winter. We see snow on the northern side and severe weather on the southern side. So this is going to be a pretty significant storm. A lot of different impacts like I talked about in the intro. So you can see severe weather is going to be an aspect of this storm as well. It's not only going to be the snow. So as we continue to play this out, you can see we are expecting storms to go through, especially into eastern Texas, parts of Louisiana, most of Louisiana really, and into parts of western Mississippi, with those storms kind of dying down by the time they get into Alabama and eastern Mississippi. Then by the time we go into Thursday, this is around 6 a.m. on Thursday, we do see this storm start to eject off to the north, bringing with it those heavy snow into the UP of Michigan. We're going to see very heavy snow up there. I expect big totals in the northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan, as well as the northern Mid region of Michigan. And also we are going to see some snow into places like Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire here, but we are going to see a warm nose, which is going to limit any snow, if we get any, into the place like Boston or New York. We're not going to really be seeing any snow down the I-95 corridor because of that warm nose of air, but we will see some snow into parts of northern New England here by the time we go into, say, Thursday and Friday. Also some snow along the lakes into Michigan and along Lake Erie into New York and Lake Ontario into New York as well here. That storm does get its way on out of here, though, by the time we go into next weekend. And then by the time we keep playing this out here into next weekend, we do see another storm form. Again, this is just the European model, but we do see another storm form because this first storm that's already way on out of here into Canada, weakened off a little bit, is going to leave down some cold air. So that's going to put in place the ingredients for a possible storm. Now, for right now, it's looking like a weak storm, but again, we're a week out. Things are going to change a lot here. It is going to put the ingredients in place for a possible storm that could take a sort of track that could bring snow to places where we really haven't seen it this season. Of course, this probably won't happen. It may happen. We don't really know at this point because we are so far out. But again, the storm is going to leave behind some cold air, putting the ingredients in place so we could see a big storm out of it. So let's look at what we're expecting in the terms of snow out of this big storm. You can see pretty evidently where our big swath of snow is, all the way from Colorado into Nebraska, into Iowa, and as well as into Wisconsin, Minnesota, and especially the Upper Peninsula of Michigan here. You can see our big bullseye here into Nebraska, expecting 10 to 20 inches there in some spots there in Nebraska. Into Omaha, probably getting on 5 to 8 inches. Same there in Sioux City, Iowa. And then up towards northern Wisconsin, the Green Bay region and the Milwaukee region, probably a couple of inches. But especially in the UP of Michigan, we could see a good amount of snow there, adding on to the big snow you've already seen this season, as well as the northern part of Michigan as well here. And then again, we're continuing to see snow along those mountain ranges in the west, especially the Pacific Northwest into California, so the Sierra Nevadas, the Cascades here. Again, expecting more snow with this system, and more snow as well into the Rockies, down into New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana as well here. And then again, we are expecting some snow over here into Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. Could get up to around half a foot of snow there, so pretty significant. We could be seeing a quick burst that could probably overperform here into a place like Maine, especially there into southern Maine. We are going to see a good amount of snow there, so that's what we're dealing with snow. You can see a pretty big swath, especially into Nebraska, of course the Rocky Mountains, the Sierra Nevadas, the Cascade Range, and then into a place like Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. That's where we're expecting our biggest snow totals out of this. But again, snow is not the only thing we're going to be having to deal with with this storm. It's also severe weather, and you can see highlighted here by the Storm Prediction Center, we do have a 15% day 4 outlook for Wednesday. This goes into eastern Texas, all the way into southwestern Mississippi here, and a large portion of Louisiana here, and especially northern Louisiana, so Shreveport, Monroe, into Alexandria, Beaumont, Texas, Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Jackson, Mississippi. You guys are all included in this. So this does include some pretty big population centers, places we've already seen severe weather. Of course, here in Dixie Alley, where we're expecting more severe weather, we have seen a lot of severe weather so far. Again, a couple of days ago, we saw that overperforming severe weather outbreak into Alabama and Georgia. You know, the Selma tornado in Alabama, really bad situation, but we are expecting more severe weather, unfortunately, and this could be another severe weather outbreak. It's looking like the ingredients are there. We're going to have a good moisture here. You can see we do have a good amount of moisture in place for Wednesday. It's going to be rich moisture, warm temperatures, so a lot of the ingredients are in place into Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi for a big severe weather event. Of course, not all the details are known yet. We don't really have the high reflectivity models out yet, so we will get more information on this as we go into the future. But let's time this out with the European model. Of course, this is not the best reflectivity, best quality model here, but it does kind of paint the picture of what we're expecting. So we're starting out here 3 a.m. on Wednesday. So as we go into around 9 a.m. on Wednesday, we are seeing some storms starting to come into Shreveport, Center, Texas, Jasper, Texas, as well as all the way down into Beaumont. By the time we go into 12 p.m. here, you can see we do have some storms starting to form into places west of Monroe and Alexandria, as well as west of Lake Charles into extreme southeastern Texas here. But as we keep going into around 3 p.m., so into the afternoon and into the evening here, you can see we do develop a line of storms here. Now, this is going to probably make the damaging wind threat the biggest threat, but all hazards, and this has been outlined by the Storm Prediction Center, could be possible with this event, so we could have embedded tornadoes in this line of storms. Again, very low reflectivity model here. We will get more information on this as we go into the future. And then as we go into 9 p.m. here on Wednesday, we are seeing those storms starting to move into places like Jackson, Baton Rouge, Louisiana here. And then by the time we go into very late on the Wednesday into early on Thursday, that's when we see those storms start to die down into eastern Mississippi and western Alabama. So let's rewind that here again. Again, we're expecting those storms to start off by the time we go into 12 p.m. and then those storms going through Louisiana into Mississippi throughout the afternoon into the evening and dying off by the time we get into early Thursday morning, and then really all the way out of here by the time we go into Thursday midday. So that's what we're expecting with severe weather, and that about wraps up this More Weather Forecast video. Again, we are expecting a big storm to come through the United States, bringing again snow, severe weather, more snow for the west, and more rain for especially California. A lot of impacts are expected with this storm. All right, as always, make sure you subscribe and go follow me on Twitter, and I will see you soon with more weather.